Why, hello there. Hello guys, how are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? I am switching it up today because today is me day, the best day of the world. Me day is important. Me day is self-indulgence. Me day is relaxation to the max. Do you see this candle? Do you see these bubbles? And of course I got the bubbly. Last one in the fridge because Gord drank them all. Gord is out of town. He went to visit his friends, so I thought why not have the best day ever. Because sometimes you need that. You need that alone time. Yes, you do, honey. I was doing some career development research and applications and whatnot for my future, and I am so satisfied with myself today. I honestly told Gord that today was going to be a bit of a sad day. I was going to probably cry because I've been so stressed, and I was going to try to get it all out because I've been holding it in. Pardon me. But yeah, I'm really proud of myself today that I didn't have a moping around day. I was really productive and I'm really trying to get my together. But then again I thought, what better way to celebrate a day like this than by yours truly bringing you my biggest regrets in my life. Trust me, when you're as crazy as me, you've got some. You've got a lot. One I can think of right away is eating too much Wendy's when Gord first took me on a date. I'm pretty sure we were seeing each other and he actually invited me to go to a party that night, and I had spent like 2 or 3 days straight with him, and I politely declined because I was like, hey, I want to go home and shower and like do stuff on my own. And he was like, okay. To kill time before the party, he said, oh, let's just go to Wendy's and then we'll go to Chapters. If you don't know what Chapters is, it's a bookstore. I don't know if it's in Canada or just in Ontario, or maybe it's in the US too. I don't know. The point is, we went to Wendy's and had all this food, and then we went to Chapters and strolled along romantically, looking at books and looking at little cute knickknacks, and your girl was gassy. Here I was trying to avoid Gord, trying to get away from him and distance myself when this is like the honeymoon stage. We weren't even dating yet, I don't think, so he was like following me, I was kind of following him, so I didn't want to be too like, I'm not here with you, you know what I mean? The early stage. But then every time this is too much info, of course, this whole video is probably going to be too much info, but every time I had to rip one, I was like, oh my god, I gotta go. And I would attempt to do this in private, but he kept coming back to me. I told him the story now after the fact, but he still swears to this day he never found out, like he didn't notice or anything. I don't really believe him because they were stank. They were pretty bad, but at the same time he had a lot of food too, so maybe he was ripping some too and didn't even notice. I don't know. I couldn't tell. Sometimes I felt like it was me, other times I felt like maybe it was him, but it was embarrassing and I regret it. Next thing I can think of is any porta potty ever. From the amount of times that I've been to public events, I've probably gotten some kind of disease from a porta potty because I do use them often because I do go to a lot of events, or I did go to a lot of events. And a girl's gotta do what she's gotta do. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Those things are so gross, and there's no maintenance to them, so literally it's like a free-for-all in there. They're everywhere, on the toilet seat, outside of the toilet seat, on the floor where you're stepping, in the mirror where you're looking at. Some of them have that little tiny mirror. Everywhere. And toilet paper and tampon, ugh, you name it, it's there. Condoms, ugh. Do I want a public urination charge though? No. So HIV it is. Another thing I regret is my eyebrows from, I would say, about the age of 19 or 20 to like 22-ish. My eyebrows were a hot mess. I'll try to find some pictures and show you guys right here on the screen. I'm telling you, I am so glad whoever told me that it wasn't cute. It just wasn't cute. They were dark, they were thick, they were pointy in the inner corners. Oh, I cringe every time I get a memory or every time I see a flashback picture. I'm like, oh Lord. Attempting to dive in a pool. Did I know how to dive? Nope. Did I do it anyway? Yup. It was the time of like my 12th or 13th year of life that I was invited to a pool party with not a lot of people, which I'm so thankful for, because if more people would have showed up, it would have been even more embarrassing. But there was like 5 or 6 of my girlfriends. We swimming, we having a pool party, we having fun, and then everyone decides, oh, let's go diving. Everyone's going on the first, because it was an indoor pool, and there was a first second and third maybe, you had to get to the top one through stairs. The lower one you could just walk right up. And I thought, I am cool as fuck. And you guessed it, I went for that top hoe. Lo and behold, I jumped off that thing and I did not know what was coming. Belly flopped right into the pool from I don't know how many meters high. I literally could hear myself grunting after the splash. Like my entire body, it wasn't just my stomach, it was like my entire body hurt, and it almost felt like the air was knocked out of me. As soon as I was submerged in the water, I heard myself going, oh, like literally just a grunt of pain, because that hurt a lot, and I'll never live it down. Everyone saw, all of my girlfriends saw that because they were all watching. It wasn't like we were all going at once, we were going one by one. So as soon as I went, everyone saw, and they're like, are you okay? And then when I came out of the pool, I didn't even realize from the like stunt or shock or whatever, I came out of the pool and my friend's like, Vanessa, your bathing suit is coming off. I literally belly flopped so hard into the water that my top was like, whoop, titties out. Investing in different methods to gain weight. Now this is something I did for a while. I was like, I am way too skinny, even though I'm not. I'm perfectly healthy, I'm perfectly fine. I love myself the way I am now. But back in the day, I used to think it was like the worst thing ever, and I should make a full video about how I felt about being skinny because I got bullied for it a lot. But basically, I did the protein shakes. I signed up for a gym membership because one of the things that it says to gain weight was go to the gym and work out, which meant more muscle mass that you would be gaining, which I didn't really like, but I was like, I'll gain a little bit and then stop. But like, I never went to the gym. I took all the shakes and it didn't make a difference. I ate so much. I took like hunger pills, even though I don't need them. I eat a lot. Anyways, I regret all that spiel. I'll go into more detail in a different video where I'll just focus on that, but that is definitely one of my biggest regrets. Because who cares? Who cares? Fast metabolism and genes, honey. I was born this way. Wearing wedges on a date. Now let me tell you, you gotta look cute, you wanna look glam, you gotta dress up for the man you go on a date for, but don't overdo it. Trust me, I'll tell you why. Some guys like to be spontaneous with dates and not really tell you what you're gonna do. So if that's the case, especially, do not wear heels, let alone your tallest ones. Yep, that was me. Literally wore my tallest heels. This guy comes to pick me up. This wasn't Gord. This was like when I was like 18, I think. And this guy comes to pick me up for a date, and he decides we're gonna go on a walk. Guess who was stumbling like a mother in wedges? Like, I was so embarrassed, and this guy was already kind of on the verge of still being in love with one of his exes or something, so I was like trying to win him over or whatever, which is not what you should do with a man. Of course, I know that now. But at the time, I was like, okay, I really need to try for this guy. And it just ended up in disaster and embarrassment. Don't put yourself in an uncomfortable or dangerous situation. Girl, I could have broken an ankle. Talking to boys on MSN Messenger. Yep, that's how old I am. With parental curfew. If you don't know what that is, that means that on your computer or on your laptop, your parents have placed a time when your computer automatically shuts off and everything you have open they can probably look at. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Excuse me. I was never confronted about it, but there was many times where the computer would shut off and I was in the middle of a conversation with a boy in high school or in elementary school. I don't remember if I had curfew on my computer in elementary school and in high school, but I just remember being like, oh my God. They gonna see this combo with this boy and they gonna think I'm dating, and not like I was ever not allowed to date, but it was still like, I just felt like my privacy was being invaded, which was a thing of my life, but not anymore. Going to the beach between waxes. Girl, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're a guy, you might not know this, but if you're a girl and you go waxing, for the first let's say week or two, if you're lucky 3, very unlikely, but if you're lucky, you will be smooth as a button with no cares in the world. But if you're normal like me, you will start showing some kind of fuzz around 2 weeks, something like that. And if you know the waxing world, you do not shave. Do not ever shave when you're waxing. It will be like starting over the entire progress of waxing. But sometimes you gotta do activities, you gotta have fun, you gotta go out and go see the world. So you'll be stupid like me and you'll go to the beach without being completely smooth and not being able to do anything about it because your wax isn't until the next month, because you can only get it once a month. They require a minimum of 3 to 4 weeks before your next wax. So yeah, it feels just great going to the beach. The beach is my favorite place, but it becomes to be a little weird when I'm trying to hide my legs because there's some fuzz down there. Okay. And that actually brings me into my next regret, which is strip waxing in the sensitive areas. Do not. Listen here, I go see professionals. This might be an industry secret, but I don't care. This might ruin businesses, but I don't care because I am concerned about you, and I was concerned about me. Do not. My first wax ever was my biggest regret because they did strips. Strips means they have a wax strip that they just place on you, and it just pulls your hair, waxes your hair right off in one direction. I did not mean to flip you guys off there. But strip waxing is fine for legs, but for the more sensitive areas, the hair does not grow in one direction down there. So you need the hard wax, which means the little popsicle stick with the melted wax that they put on and then they strip it right off. That is what's meant to be put on sensitive areas so that it doesn't damage the skin and hurt like hell. I actually ended up doing the hard wax by chance because it was a very busy weekend. I'm pretty sure it was like a Canada Day weekend last year, and I tried booking an appointment with my first ever wax place salon, and we were way too busy. I always left to make appointments till way later, like way too late. But I looked at my options, I did some research, and I found the most professional, loveliest, most relaxing salon and spa that did professional waxes with the hard wax, and I never went back to strip waxing for the sensitive areas. They still do the strip wax for the legs because that's fine, but oh, the difference is... Anyways, moving on to the next one. Appleton. Jamaican rum. An alcoholic liquor beverage thing that I cannot ever go back to because it made me have a meltdown twice. On 2 different occasions, I drank Appleton Jamaican rum, and it was a show. It was the type of drink that I could not control. I had a meltdown, I had a fit over a boy, and it was ridiculous. And then the second time I had a meltdown about a girl because she was my friend, and then she was my friend, and that was ridiculous. More of the story, Appleton rum, no thank you. Being around children. Now, I love children. I work with children, and I am so passionate about my field. I love working with children. They make my day. They are so sweet. But at the end of the day, do you know all the diseases and sicknesses and illnesses and all that stuff they carry? Their immune systems are ever so slowly developing, which means you get the worst of it. Working with children means bronchitis, strep throat, hand, foot, and mouth, lice, fever, diarrhea, the virus, the stomach flu, the unknown flu that you never find out what it's about. I could go on for days and days. You will get it all. So I will say that I regret not washing my hands as often, not sanitizing everything, not wearing a face mask, staying away from them at all times. I'm just kidding, but I regret every time I've been sick because I hate being sick. I am the biggest baby, and it is literally, I'm not the type to get sick. I don't get sick at all until I got into the field of children. Burning my mom's carpet. Yeah, call me crazy. I'm crazy. Nah, I'm just messing. I would never willingly do anything to hurt my mom's feelings or damage any of her property. It was an innocent mistake, but it was a pretty bad one. Like, was it really an incident, or was I just dumb and stupid and just not thinking and using my common sense and my brain and my logic? I don't remember what I was cooking, probably fries, but I pulled something out of the oven, and for some reason I remember thinking I was a superhero, that I didn't need oven mitts, no towel, no nothing. My hands were just superpowers. And I go to pull out this tray of whatever I was making, probably fries. As soon as I grab it, instantly I am burning. I am in hell. My hands are at 500 degrees Celsius, and I panicked. Yeah, instead of putting it in a reasonable place, I put it right down on the carpet, on the floor. because I just panicked. I just put it down and I was like, damn, it's hot. But damn, now I'm staining the carpet. Yeah, it was a pretty bad burn. It's still there. I can still see it. You can still see it right in the entrance of the kitchen, and it is ugly. And last but not least, I want to give it up for my Barbies, the real MVPs, the one who've been through it all. They've been right there from the get-go, ride or die. Went through so much trauma, so much distress just to make a girl happy. I definitely regret cutting my Barbie's hair. I thought it was an artistic thing. I thought it was just so creative and just working my art, and I didn't even end up being much of a hair person because I don't see me being a hairstylist. I don't see me touching other people's hair or other people's anything for that reason, because they're strangers. If it's my boo, oh, don't get me started. I just paid that beer. But yes, I would get into these artistic states where I thought it was a great idea to cut my doll's hairs, give them a little haircut, maybe give them a little dye with some marker. I put some red, some blue, whatever, and I'd be like, yes, oh, ooh la la, Picasso, oh, yes, yes, ooh. Only to realize the next day that they looked hideous. What have I done? And get yelled at by my mom because Barbies are expensive. What you think this is? They ain't free. They don't grow on trees. And if it comes to being in trouble for my Barbies, I actually regret a lot of things. I regret having them not clothed. If they were naked, I would get in trouble. If they got haircuts, I would get in trouble. If I painted their hair, I would get in trouble. If I put gel pen on their eyes. See, I was onto something when I was little, to add eyeshadow and be all artistic and stuff. I got in trouble because I'm tampering with their beauty, and they ain't cheap. And right now, I look like I'm wearing a Barbie dress. Oh yes, the one that goes to the ball. Maybe Cinderella or something. I'm on my Cinderella. Anyways, that's all the regrets I have for you guys today. That's all the ones I could think of. And am I just flipping this around every time I do this? I'm pretty sure you guys are done watching by now. If you're still here, thanks for listening. Thanks for hearing me out. And I'm gonna go enjoy this bubble bath now without filming and do some meditation, and then do some yoga and just find my inner peace because I need it lately. Thank you guys so much for watching, seriously though, and don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already because it's free. Ain't cost no money, no bubbles, nothing. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.